2 no-brainer MMA. What's going on, Dan?
Not much, just moving the bong out of the way.
Yeah, move that out of the way because we want to get monetized.
We're just about 847 subs away.
Oh, but I do want to say this: plus 10 subscribers last week alone, and up 67% views in the last month, which is kind of dope.
Trending upwards. You know why? Because we cover the garbage cards like this one.
Yeah.
This card fucking sucks. Let's be real.
Us and all the degenerates.
Yeah.
No brainer MMA. Degenerates Nation. All right, let's get what'd you do? Dan did a nice 7 for 9 last week. That was pretty good. Good for you, kid.
Yeah, I did all right.
Yeah. Better on that NFL.
It was okay.
Yeah, I did better on the NFL than MMA this week, but
I had a 17 parlay for the NFL if you guys want some no-brainer NFL coming out.
Yeah, you should just use on Sundays, tweet out, use the account to tweet out football shit. What the fuck? Why not?
Why not? Yeah,
it's content.
Y'all like sports.
And if you're hitting 17 parlays and I'm doing well too, why not? Just smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you want to get right into this card? I don't know what is it? UFC Vegas 40.
Yeah. Start off the card, we got Ariane Carlossi taking on Estela Nunes. This is an interesting one. Nunes hasn't fought since 2018. She does have a 7-1 career record, excuse me, and she does finish fights. She has head kick finishes. She seems like she's a decent striker. She has a submission loss to Angela Lee. But yeah, she was fighting in one championship before the UFC. So she was. It's almost pride rules over there. You can knee down opponents in the head. She don't give a fuck. But she's taking on Ariane Carnelossi, who I think is just an absolute beast. If you look at, she got beat by Angela Hill. Angela Hill, I think, is a top 6.
Yeah, she fought her in her UFC debut.
Yeah, that's a really tough fight. And then she fought Na Liang at Usman Masvidal too. It was that fight where they both just went at it. It was the first fight with the crowds back, and they just fucking went at it.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Biceps Carnelossi. Check out that girl's biceps. Unreal.
Yeah, seriously. And her shoulders.
Jacked.
Unreal. Yeah, she's good.
Use the screen share, Dan, and show Ariane Carnelossi's biceps.
Let's see. Share screen. Share. Look at those biceps. Look at how vascular she is.
Dude, I wasn't joking about but that should be her nickname, Biceps. What's her nickname?
What is her nickname? Sorisa.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. Biceps. I can look it up. Because I don't need to go back to this because I know who I'm taking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Ariane Carlossi because it means smirk. Portuguese. Might mean something. Smile. Okay.
I'm not smiling.
I'll tell you this. In my prediction, Estela Nunes isn't going to be smiling after this fight.
Stella. Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on this one, Dan.
Much regional fights. It's just I like Carnelossi better.
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with you. Carnelossi, 10 out of her 13 wins have been finishes, 9 by KO, TKO. Her body isn't ideal. She's 5'1" and a 61-inch reach.
One thing I want to say is she comes out like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, she does.
When she fights, she don't give a fuck.
Yeah, even with that Angela Hill fight, she still put up a fight.
Yeah.
This Estela Nunes, she's making her UFC debut. She had a couple bouts with the UFC schedule that were fizzled out, and she, like you said, she hasn't fought since 2018. but she's got a 50-4 Muay Thai record, which is pretty sick. And since like both girls are Muay Thai practitioners, like this is definitely staying on the feet. It's gonna be like chess match.
Yeah, I could see it going to the ground though.
It's much closer than the minus 180 that Karlossi's at. I think.
It is. It's a close fight.
Yeah. So this is a stay away from. This might be my stay away from on the night right here.
That's gonna be me for the next fight.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go with Karlossi with you, Dan.
All right, work. I'm gonna take this next one, so then you can take your boy Ludwig Klein, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's cool with me.
All right, so I'll start off with Brandon Davis, Killer B. He's now turning it. He's making his second run into the UFC. His first run, let's just be honest, it wasn't very successful. He beat Austin Arnett on the 2017 Contender Series, and then went to lose a bunch of fights. But some of the people he's lost to are Zabit and Giga Chikadze. Those guys are at the top of the 145-pound division now, and he has a very, very impressive win over Randy Costa under his belt. He was cut from the UFC, and then he fucking started just beating the shit out of everybody. Brad Kelly, Jonathan Eland, Ray Trujillo, Josh Huber, who he finished in 1 minute and 31 seconds with a body kick and punches, and he got a spot in the UFC back. Dana Batgirl, this guy is just Batgirl.
Batgirl. That should be his nickname. Because Dana's a girl's name, so Dana Batgirl.
Yeah, Dana White.
Dana White.
Anyway, yeah, he's coming off of 2 straight knockouts. He's looked really nice in both of those fights. He does have that loss to Hailey Alatang. What's up with all these males having female names?
Alatong Wei Lee. That's how you say that one.
Okay. I thought it was like Haley, you know?
I think it's like Alatong Wei Lee.
Yeah. Yeah, with the I should know this from the Eastern culture in my family that it goes backwards, but
yeah,
he's good himself. Like, this is a pretty close fight, and for Batgirl to be like a minus 200, he's fighting out of Jackson Wink and shit. I get it, but he's like a minus 200 favorite, and I just don't feel that confident because Brandon Davis is a fucking killer out there too, and he could definitely win this fight. 31 years old. He's not old. Batgirl is actually older. I don't know. I'm gonna take the upset, Brandon Davis, in this one, but I won't be surprised if Batgirl wins this. Like, I'm kind of expecting him to, but I'm taking the underdog here.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna disagree with you on this one, Dan. Dana Batgirl 2-1 UFC on a 2-fight first round KO winning streak, over Guido Cadeni and Kevin Natividad. 7 out of his 9 wins have come by KO TKO. He has a +3 striking differential at 39% accuracy, 70-inch reach, but only 57% takedown defense. Also, his cardio is a pretty big problem. He kind of slows down as the fight goes on.
He does.
Yeah, after like the first, basically, actually, like he
is a hard fucking hitter.
Yeah. He's taking on Brandon Davis, who was cut from the UFC, like Dan said, in 2019 after going 3-5. He'd lose to that tough competition, like you said. He has gone since then. He's gone on a 4-fight winning streak. Very well-rounded fighter. Trains Muay Thai and BJJ. I'm a little worried about Batgirl's cardio after the first, but overall, I can't pick against them. I think I'm going to go Dana Batgirl on this one. But yeah, again, it's a lot closer than what you're saying, Dan.
Yeah, this is a close fight.
Yeah, it could end up being like he's got a lot of experience, man.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but we're both riding with Batgirl, and I'll be right back.
Be right back. We're gonna move right into the next one: Ludwig Klein versus Nate Landwehr.
I already know where this is going.
This one has fight of the night written all over it. Landwehr, he's 1-2 in the UFC. He's coming off that flying knee KO loss from Julian Erosa. He's an exciting fighter, but like a little bit like too much for his own good, where it gets him in trouble. He has a minus 0.6 striking differential, averages 7 strikes per minute at 50% accuracy and 85% takedown defense. He's also the 3-time former M1 champ. It's a solid background too. He's taken on Klein, Ludwig Klein, who's 1-1 in the UFC. 16 out of his 17 wins have been by finish, 8 by KO, 8 by sub. Real technical boxer, only 26 years old, has a lot of room to improve, but I put him on my list of prospects to watch, and he lost that fight last time out, but he's still developing and very young, and for sure is going to be prominent. I'm going to roll with him on this one. This is a great bounce back fight for him.
I completely agree. He's great. Ludwig Klein is just like you said, he was on your prospect list. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah, for a reason. He had a little setback last time, but he's still fucking 26 years old. He's got the world in front of him. He's got this.
He's like a little bit older than us, and he's already got 2 fights in the UFC. And last time out, he did a great job. He showed that he can take him down. He took him down 4 times.
Yeah.
You just think of him as like a stand-up guy, but no, his ground game is very good. Yeah, but that's good. That's an easy one. We're both going with Ludwig Klein in that one. We're gonna move right into the next one. Sarge Eubanks versus Lana Carolina.
All right. Yeah, so we got Sarge Eubanks, who you guys know I'm a big fan of. It's hard not to be. She cut off some of her dreadlocks to fucking make weight. Like that's what fucking fighters fucking do.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's badass.
He's coming off that ground and pound win over Elise Reed. She had 2 losses prior to that to Penny Kianzad and Caitlin Vieira, but they're both fucking studs. So there's nothing wrong with that. She's fighting Lana Carolina, who is the up and comer up and comer. She's an up and coming fighter. There we go. Holy shit. She got caught in that nasty knee bar by Ariane Lipsky, if you remember that.
Yeah.
You just see her being like, tapping. But yeah, both of these girls are they're beasts in their own right. But Lana Carolina, I feel like she's just a little too. I feel like she's giving up a lot of strength in this fight to Sarge, and she barely squeaked by a unanimous decision, split decision victory over Poliano Botello. She's beaten Priscilla Cachoeira, Mabeli Lima. She hasn't really beaten anybody substantial yet. Sarge, on the other hand, is substantial. And I don't care what her record is. She's 7-6. She's a fucking stud, Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She's beaten some of the best fighters out there. She's beaten Lauren Murphy. She's beaten Julia Avila. Like she's not bad. Never sleep on Sarge. I got Sarge in this fight. I think she takes it by decision. I think there's going to be some stand up, but I think a lot of the fights Sarge is going to be on top of her.
Yeah, dude, how tough is this one? It's taking place at flyweight. Sarge has since made her way back to flyweight, and in her last time out against Elise Reed, she killed it. Unbelievable.
What'd you say?
Since she moved back to flyweight in her fight against Elise Reed, she looked stellar.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I think she's got the weight,
but she has a hard time cutting down.
I think she's perfected it though. She has definitely got it down to a science. And she's a veteran now. She's been around forever. I think she's 36 years old. Carolina's 28.
She's 36.
Yeah. Sarge Eubanks definitely is the more well-rounded one. She averages 2 takedowns a fight at 47% accuracy and 65% takedown defense. And she even has a +1 striking differential. Lana Carolina is sick on the feet, a +1.5 striking differential at 51% accuracy and 90% takedown defense. Also is good with the submissions, averages 1.6 per fight. But I'm going to have to agree with you, Dan. just Sarge's experience alone should give her this. And Lana Carolina, her last time out, she looks. It's a debatable fight. It was a split decision, but it could have gone either way. And that was against Poliana Botello.
She makes questionable decisions. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
She's not going to make them down the line, but she's making them now. And
yeah, I know she's still early on for sure.
She has plenty of time to grow. But Sarge, this is like let's make a run time, So that's why I'm taking her.
Well, it's going to come down to that Carolina's 90% takedown defense, and I do think Sarge is going to be able to take her down.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, that's going to be a difference maker. She's just a far more well-rounded mixed martial artist, Sarge. So I'm agreeing with you, Dan. I'm going Sarge Eubanks.
Same.
Awesome. We're agreeing. Both going Sarge Eubanks. Moving right into the next one. Danny Roberts versus Ramzan Ameev. This one's a little one-sided in my opinion. Danny Roberts 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a win over Zelen Ameev, but that was back in November of 2019. Hasn't fought since. 13 of his 17 wins have been by finish, mostly by KO, TKO. He's got a slightly positive striking differential and a crazy 6% takedown accuracy. 6%. And only 53% takedown defense. Really struggles with grappling. He's taken on Ramzan Ameev, who, if you're struggling with grappling, you don't want to fight a guy from Dagestan, who's 5-1 in the UFC. He's riding a 2-fight winning streak. He has an international master of sports in Sambo, great cardio, just wears on his opponent, similar to his fellow Dagestanians.
There'd be a lot of fight, though.
Yeah, all of his fights have gone the distance, but the biggest factor in this fight is Ameev's 2.3 takedowns per fight at 30% accuracy. Roberts has problems stopping the takedowns in the past, so I'm confidently picking Ameev in this one.
Yeah, I got Goretz over hot chocolate, even though I love me some hot chocolate. But yeah, let's be real here. Danny Roberts, they both have split decision wins over David Zawada, if that means anything to anybody.
No.
But yeah, he's been susceptible to being knocked out and submitted, and there's a good chance that Ameev finishes this one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would go with the under in this fight.
The under? No, I don't know about that. Ameev loves going the distance.
Squeeze something.
You think he gets his first finish?
Yeah. Roberts is very finishable.
I mean, he is. Can't argue there, but we're both agreeing. We're both going Ramzan Ameev. We're going to move right into the next one. Andrew Sanchez versus Bruno Silva. Not 135-pound Bruno Silva. We're talking about 185-pound Bruno Silva. I'm going to start with Andrew Sanchez. 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a pretty one-sided loss to Makhmed Muradov. He has a minus 0.5 striking differential.
In that fight, let's be real.
He did. He has a minus 0.5 striking differential, 42% accuracy, 2 takedowns per fight at 31% accuracy, and 100% takedown defense, stuffing all 8 of his takedowns attempted on him. He's a decorated wrestler, not to mention a former IBJJF champ.
Yeah, he's a killer on the ground. Absolutely.
Killer on the ground. Unreal. He's taken on Bruno Silva, who's made his UFC debut in his last time out, but he was a veteran coming into the UFC. And he fought Wellington Turman and finished him in the first after outlanding him 19 significant strikes to 1. He's a former N1 champ. 17 out of his 20 wins have come by KO TKO, and 3 out of 4 of Sanchez's losses have come by KO TKO. This is a close fight, but I'm going to have to go with the striker and Bruno Silva in this one.
Yeah, I think Bruno Silva puts him out quickly.
So? Yeah. Well, that's even a bunch of, it's either Sanchez goes the distance or he gets finished in the first. That happened several times already in the UFC.
Yeah, I think Sanchez will try to do the dirty boxing against the clinch. Bruno Silva gets out of that, gets some distance, hits him with something big, rocks him, drops him to the ground, finishes it from there. But I think Bruno Silva's striking is just phenomenal. If you go back and watch his M1 fights, they're great. Yeah,
Bruno Silva is the real deal, and he's already got a 20-6 record.
Yeah, this guy's got plenty of experience in high-level competition. This guy's the fucking man.
Yeah, totally agree. We're both riding with Bruno Silva in this one, and we're going to move right into the next one. Julian Marquez versus Jordan Wright.
All right, this is an interesting one. Very interesting one. The Cuban Missile Crisis, Julian Marquez taking on the Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright. I'm going to give the strength advantage to Julian Marquez all day, but I'm going to give the technique, at least on the feet, the technique and how sleek he is.
Julian Marquez is sleek with those subs.
He is, but Jordan Wright's sleek with his stand-up.
Oh,
you know,
those karate?
He'll throw everything. Yeah. So, since he's come to the UFC, he's 3-1 with its only loss being to Joaquin Buckley, which is nothing to be ashamed of because Joaquin Buckley's a walking fucking muscle. So yeah, this fight's very, very interesting. I would stay away from this at all costs. Julian Marquez is a minus 225 favorite, but I would not count out Jordan Wright in this fight. But I do think that Julian Marquez is going to be able to get his hands on him and I think he drags him down and takes him into the deep waters. And he's definitely got the strength. He's definitely going to posture up, and he's definitely going to, I think he puts a beating on Jordan Wright.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped for this next one, honestly. Marquez 4-1 under the UFC umbrella, getting 2 fight of the nights, 1 performance of the night, and finishing all 9 of his pro MMA fights. He has a +1 striking differential, 45% accuracy, only 53% takedown defense, but in his defense, he goes for the submission so much. Like, he'll pull guard just to go for his submissions, and he is like slick on the ground for sure. He's taken on Jordan Wright, 2-1-1 under the UFC umbrella, but that 1-0 contest is a TKO loss in the first 40 seconds of his contender series fight, but was overturned when Anthony Hernandez popped for weed. So that's a loss in my book. He also finished all 12 of his fights, so both these guys have a 100% finish rate. He's a karate practitioner with a brown belt. He also is a brown
nasty spinning back kick. He throws that quickly.
Yeah, he does.
Throw that.
But get ready for this. He's a brown belt. He's a brown ECOT in Pencak Silat. Do you want to know what that is, Dan?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Good. I didn't expect you to, so I took this off of Wikipedia. It's a full body fighting form incorporating strikes, grappling, and throwing in addition to weaponry. Every part of the body is used and subject to attack. Pencak Silat was practiced not only for physical defense, but also for psychological ends. Now, that is some of the scariest shit I've ever heard. And this guy's got a brown ECOT in it, whatever the fuck a brown ECOT is.
Pretty sure black is better, but yeah,
whatever. But who knows? Like, I just read that and I was like, what is going on? So he's the real deal. He has a slightly negative striking differential, but 7 strikes per minute at 60% accuracy. However, that chin is
those hands.
Yeah, that chin though is questionable. He got TKO'd in 2 fights in the UFC out of 4 already, and knocked down 3 times. This fight is tough, like you said, Dan, but I'm going to go with Marquez. I'm riding with you.
That's my boy.
Hell yeah. And we're going to agree. We're both going Julian Marquez, even though he's so fucking cringy. If he wins, I'm just going to cringe the whole time during his like speech, when they give him a speech at the end.
Yeah.
Interview him. It's going to be terrible, but we're agreeing. And the next one is Manon Fiorot versus Maro Bueno Silva. You want this one, Dan, or me?
I mean, I feel like we've done this fight like 3 times already.
No. This is just the second time.
All right. Yeah, I made it short and simple last time, so I'll make it short and simple again. Bueno Silva, for instance, she's fighting out of Shootbox Diego Lima. I guess that's a really good place to train out of. She's coming off a majority decision draw to Montana De La Rosa, and before that a win over Mara Barella. She has submitted Jillian Robertson, so she's got a decent ground game. The question is, can she get it to the ground against such a stud like Bro, I don't think so. I think Man and Fiorero's stand-up is next level. And I don't think that Bueno Silva is going to be able to stop her. That's simple.
Yeah.
We've done this fight before, so I don't want to go super deep into it.
Yeah, I'll just give like a quick rundown. Manon Fiorot, she's a huge flyweight prospect, 2-0 under the UFC umbrella. In both second round KO TKOs. 6 of her 7 wins have come by KO TKO. She's been a champ in like every organization she's fought for, the UAE champ, EFC champ, and she won the knockoff Ultimate Fighter show. Her striking's other level, and she packs power. She's taken on Maro Bueno Silva 3-1-1 in her last 5. Also finished 6 out of her 7 wins, but mostly by submission, so it's the opposite. Really grappler versus striker. Although has yet to record a takedown in the UFC, and that's a 5-fight career, which is just strange. Although she does have 3 first-round sub wins, but overall, I like Fiorot. Her striking is just other level. It's hard to pick against her.
I agree.
All right, we're gonna move right into the next one. Jim Miller versus Eryk Gonzalez. All right.
Take it away.
All right, it's me. Cool.
Eryk the Ghost Pepper Gonzalez.
Cool nickname, but 37 fight UFC veteran Jim Miller is taking on Eryk Gonzalez, who's making his UFC debut. So really opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm going to start with Gonzalez. He has a 14-5 pro record. 2 of those losses coming from former and current UFC members, Rafa Garcias and Humberto Bandenay. He wins mostly by KO TKO. He's taken on UFC legend Jim Miller, who's 2-3 in his last 5. But he's still getting excuse me. He's still got 2 performance of the nights and 1 fight of the night in his last 6 UFC fights. So that's still pretty good.
But the trending is downward.
For sure. He's a well-known wrestler, known for grit and grind, and he's tough as nails. He's been finished 1 time in his last 16 fights. But I'm afraid to say that Miller time is coming to an end, like you said, Dan. And that being said, this is a pretty good matchup for him.
It is.
So I'm gonna ride with Miller in this one. But it's Miller time is almost over.
Yeah, it's like I've seen some of this guy's fights on the regional scene, but like you can't really compare a guy's regional scene to actual UFC experience.
Hell no.
That's one lesson that I've learned over doing this for the amount of time we've been doing this. Am I wrong?
No, dude.
Like we see some guys on the regional scene killing it, making their UFC debuts against a seasonal vet, and then they get their ass beat, and you sit there wondering why. But Jim Miller he got beaten his own way by Joe Selecki in his last fight. Like he Jim Miller, you know? So it's a tough one. It's just like, man, it's just, I love Jim Miller, but Eryk Gonzalez is an underdog in this fight, and Jim Miller's got so much wear and tear on his body. It's just like, if this was prime Jim Miller, it wouldn't be close, but like,
right.
I'm going to take the debuting UFC underdog in this fight without knowing that much about him. I've seen a couple of his regional fights. That's about it. I don't know much about his backstory. I don't know much about anything about this guy, but it's just Jim Miller just not being Jim Miller has.
No, I disagree wholeheartedly. You got to go with Jim Miller in this one.
I can't. I know he's a minus 200 favorite, but like
37 fights in the UFC. This guy's making his debut. He's facing like the veteran. The
veteran, but like he could very well like he's
not gonna knock him out.
Wait, veteran, and then all of a sudden you're a guy. You're not just a guy. You're not a guy. You stand above those guys. You know, like those entry level guys.
Hey, we can agree to disagree. I'm going Jim Miller. Dan's
I'm
gonna
not confident in this pick. I'm not betting on this fight.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's not one to bet. It's not one to bet. I would say stay away from this one.
Jim Miller is just. I can't bet on Jim Miller. It's like Sam Alvey. I can't bet on Sam Alvey.
Yeah, that's true. And he just got a fight signed today against Ian Heinisch, and he's gonna get his ass kicked.
That is going to be the gross fight of the night whenever that comes.
Yeah. But we're agreeing. I mean, we're disagreeing. I'm going Jim Miller. Dan's going to go with UFC debuting Eryk Gonzalez. And we're going to move right into the next one. Andrei Arlovski versus Carlos Felipe.
All right, so this should be an interesting one, honestly. This is a pretty good matchup for Andrei Arlovski. Carlos Felipe beat big boned Jake Collier in his last fight. And he beat Justin Taffa in the fight for that. And honestly, he's looked pretty good in the UFC so far. His only loss being a majority decision loss to Sergey Spivak.
Yeah. But his last time out, Carlos Felipe, I think that he lost and he got the split decision win over him.
So do I.
Yeah.
But I think that Andrei Arlovski's fucking 42.
The way he fights though is like he's still got high volume. He threw 100 significant. He landed over 100 significant strikes in his last time out.
But that was against Chase Sherman. Chase Sherman's garbage.
Well, I don't know how good Felipe is. Those split decision wins, they're questionable.
Yeah, against guys. I mean, Justin Taffa and Jorgen De Castro, Jake Collier, they're decent opponents. I think they're better than Chase Sherman. They're not as good as Tanner Bozer, who Andrei Arlovski did beat. So this is a tough one, man. Like, this is a really, really tough one. This is like, if there was one fight to stay away from on this entire card, it would be this fight. Because I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to ride with the fucking Pitbull, and I think he gets a unanimous decision victory. I think he's still got the volume, and I think he's going to put the hands on him, land more strikes, and get a decision victory. This guy's decision run is over.
You're going Arlovski?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm glad to hear it. Carlos Felipe, 3-1 in the UFC, 3-fight winning streak, but the later 2 wins are split decision wins, and you don't really want to see that. But what we did find out from his UFC career, he's got a granite chin and great cardio for a guy his size. Going to decision in all 4 of his UFC fights, he's got a minus 0.7 striking differential. A little bit too much damage for the heavyweight division. 72% takedown defense. Taking on another UFC veteran. It's like Jim Miller, Andrei Arlovski. They're like hand in hand.
Andrei Arlovski has been around since like 2002. So like he's like the 4 steps ahead of Jim Miller.
Yeah, he is. But they're
not on activity level, but like being a UFC veteran,
right.
I remember the old days.
Oh, for sure. And even right now, he's still 3-2 in his last 5. Also a guy with a solid chin where he grew that back. He grew his chin like all the way back over the years.
Probably been doing those neck exercises to strengthen his traps.
And he's thought, probably. I wouldn't put it past him. And he loves going to decision too. Both guys. Bet the over. That's what I'm saying in this. If you don't want to bet on this one, you don't see a lot of heavyweights going the distance, but I think both of these guys are capable of doing that.
I think Felipe has a chance of knocking Andrei Arlovski flat out, though.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't get finished like that anymore.
I mean, he did by Tom Aspinall. I mean, Tom Aspinall, instead of just
of course,
was like, I'll grab your, like, basically exactly what Agapova did last weekend. Dropped them and immediately just sunk in the choke.
Yeah.
Agapova actually did it. I used to say that was like the quickest dropping somebody to having them tap I've ever seen. What's her name? Agapova just beat that. Yeah. She dropped her and immediately had she threw the body triangle in and everything. And within 2 seconds, she was tapping. I was just like, she dropped her, got the body triangle, and choked her in 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
fucking impressive. Killer instincts.
Yeah, for sure. Well, she put on a performance. But I'm agreeing with you on this one, Dan. I'm going Andrei Arlovski, but I am going to bet the over in this one. I don't think there's going to be a finish.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I like that bet. I don't know what it is right now. Probably something decent.
Yeah.
All right, so we're both agreeing. We're gonna move right into the next one.
The main event of the evening, we got Norma Dumont versus Aspen Ladd. May I say this fight is gross? Yes, I will. Norma Dumont, she's a solid grappler. She's 6-1 fighting Aspen Ladd, who she was shaking so much on the fucking scale that they called off the fight. I think she would have gotten beat by Macy Chiasson, but this might be a better matchup for her. Because I don't think Dumont has much in the stand-up department. Megan Anderson knocked her clean with that right hand. I still remember that like it was yesterday. Aspen Ladd's a southpaw, obviously, so I think she lands some sweet left hands, maybe a nice left overhand, and finishes in the first or second. I don't think this fight goes the distance.
Who are you picking, Dan? I'm sorry.
Aspen Ladd.
Aspen Ladd. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna start with Norma
She doesn't
Dumont.
have to cut weight either.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, that's her biggest problem, making the scale. But I'm gonna start with Norma Dumont. She does over the course of her first 3 UFC fights, she has a +2 striking differential, and at 53% accuracy, 67% striking defense, 1.8 takedowns per fight, at 40% accuracy and 100% takedown defense. So far so good in the UFC, and she is very green. 6-1, like you said. She already half of her fights are UFC fights, so pretty much. Which is
She did beat Felicia Spencer, albeit it was a very close fight.
Very close fight. It was a split decision, and I do think Norma Dumont deserved that, but it was a split decision. She's gonna be taking on 9-1 Aspen Ladd, who, like you said, was shaking like a leaf last Saturday.
I mean, she's a bantamweight, though. She is going up in weight.
Yeah, she is, but she should be probably a featherweight. She's missed weight more times than not. She's got a +0.4 striking differential at 55% accuracy, 2.5 takedowns per fight at 75% accuracy, and 66% takedown defense. This fight is a lot closer. I think on short notice already, Aspen Ladd is the favorite. I don't know if I totally agree with that. Especially since having such a bad weight cut like 7 days ago. You know what I mean? It's still not good for you. Your body's still like gonna recover and stuff from that.
Yeah, and then literally taking a fight a week later. It's weird.
She's gonna really have to prove herself. And the fact that I haven't seen Norma Dumont get taken down yet, that's where Aspen Ladd has the advantage for sure. But
Ladd has the advantage on the feet as well.
Yeah.
She's quick. She's powerful.
This fight is close for me, man. I don't know who to pick at this point. I think I'm gonna ride with Norma Dumont.
But you're shaking your head like you're not confident. Like,
I'm not confident in this fight because Aspen Ladd is a killer. It's just she's got a lot of stuff stacked against her right now. She is definitely the bigger prospect of the two. And if she can make 135, I had her winning last week against Macy Chiasson. But I don't know. There's just, although I will say this, her back is against the wall. If she loses this, that might be the difference maker. If she loses this fight right now, then she's going to be on the hot seat for not only the UFC, but the fans, because the fans are not happy.
The fans aren't happy. You're
not
very
one bit. So you know what? That might be the difference maker in this fight. She's gonna like make it a point to grind out a win here. So
But may I say, after this week, we got fucking 2 fucking dope cards in a row. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going Aspen Ladd in this one.
There we go. We switched it around. We got 2 fucking championship cards. We got 4 belts on the lines in the next 2 weeks or some shit. Let's fucking go.
Kick ass. All right. Yeah, that was awesome, Dan. This card might be the worst of the year, but I had a great time recording this with you and doing some picks.
I had a great time too. I'm more looking forward to next week where we could really break down some good ones.
Yeah, for sure. But right now, this is no-brainer. MMA signing off.